Struggle has a way of leaving marks not only on our circumstances, but deep within our minds and hearts. In this story, we explore how the daily grind of survival begins to weigh heavily on young Donald. The scarcity of resources, the quiet sacrifices of his parents, and the simmering resentment of life's seeming unfairness begin to mold his perspective. It's often in these tight corners of struggle where people must choose: let hardship break them, or let it build them. For Donald, this moment sets the stage for that inner tension between gratitude and frustration, endurance and escape. Donald grew up in a small, cramped home where every penny was stretched to its limit. His father, a laborer, worked tirelessly but barely made enough to keep food on the table. His mother, despite her exhaustion, always managed to create warmth in their home. Yet, Donald couldn't shake the feeling that life was unfair. Every morning, he watched his father lace up his worn-out boots, leaving before sunrise and returning after dark, only to collapse into a chair, sighing under the weight of another long day. Donald loved his father, but he couldn't help but resent their circumstances. Why did some families have everything while his struggled for the basics? At school, Donald's sharp mind stood out. He grasped lessons quickly, especially anything related to numbers and strategy. His teachers praised him, saying he had the potential to be great. But potential didn't put food on the table. Potential didn't stop the landlord from knocking at their door. Donald wanted more, and he wanted it fast. The turning point came when he overheard his mother crying one night. Bills had piled up, and there was no way to pay them. His father, usually a man of quiet endurance, sounded defeated. It was in that moment that something shifted in Donald. The idea of struggling his whole life, just like his parents, became unbearable. Restlessness took root in his heart. He didn't know how, but he was determined to find a way out. And if the straight path wouldn't lead to success quickly enough, he was willing to look elsewhere. The seed had been planted. The next morning, Donald woke up early. This time not just to chase his thoughts, but to act. He quietly made his way to the kitchen and began preparing breakfast. By the time his mother woke up, the table was set, the warm scent of food filling the room. "What did we do to deserve all this?" his father asked as he sat down, surprised by the rare gesture. "Did you sleep well, Donnie?" his father asked, eyeing him curiously. "Yes, Dad," Donald replied, forcing a smile. "I just couldn't sleep, so I decided to do something for you and Mom." His father nodded but said nothing. The exhaustion in his eyes spoke volumes. As they ate, Donald hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Dad, can I join you today? I think I can help you so that you can come back home early. I see how tired you always are, and Mom worries all the time. Let me help." His father looked at him for a long moment. "It's the weekend, Dad," Donald added quickly. "We can finish early, and you can finally get some rest," his father sighed. "Okay, fine, but only if you know what you're getting yourself into. My job is not an easy one." "I know, Dad. That's why I want to help today," Donald said, his determination unwavering. The day was long and grueling. Donald worked alongside his father, carrying heavy loads, fixing things, and watching his father interact with the people he helped. At the end of the day, as they counted their earnings, Donald's stomach twisted with frustration. "After all this hard work, this is all you made? This is absurd. I cannot allow this exploitation to continue." Donald's voice shook with anger. His father looked at him, his expression weary yet calm. "Donnie, these people I help, they are just like us. I cannot charge them more than they can afford. Maybe if I worked in town, where the rich folks live, it would be different. But you know my van is old, it can't handle that kind of travel." Donald stared at his father's worn hands, the lines of struggle etched deep into his skin. More than ever, he realized he couldn't continue watching his parents suffer like this. The weight of their reality hit him hard. That night, as exhaustion settled into his bones, he didn't just feel tired, he felt transformed. He mapped out what he would do when he had money. He would buy his father a new van. He would make sure no child in their neighborhood was forced to drop out of school. And the respect he had for women, inspired by his mother's struggles, solidified into something unshakable. He started reminiscing, remembering every wrong thing that's had happened around the neighborhood underscore the struggle that engulfed them all. His heart started pounding very hard, but then he calmed himself. "I will fix all this. This cannot keep happening, he hit his bed with a fist. Donald wasn't just dreaming anymore. He was planning. And soon, he would act. He continued helping his father, absorbing the ways of survival like a sponge. Whether his father was fixing cars or painting houses, Donald was right there, eager to learn. In the kitchen, he watched his mother cook, offering to chop, stir, or carry anything to feel useful. But patience was never his strength. He never stuck with anything long enough to master it, making him a jack of all trades. School felt even more pointless. The slow pace of formal education frustrated him, and the lessons seemed distant from the real-world struggles he witnessed daily. While his teachers saw potential in him, Donald saw nothing but wasted time. How could equations, history lessons or essays put food on the table now? How could waiting years for a degree help his family now, and still not get a job? He hated seeing his parents struggle, and desperation gnawed at him. He needed an escape, a faster way out. His eyes turned toward the streets, where success seemed swift, but at a great cost. Slowly, he became streetwise, learning the silent language of opportunity, risk, and survival. Struggles are often viewed as obstacles, but they can also be the forge that shape our character. Welcome them. Every hardship carries a hidden message, waiting to reveal something about who we are and what we're capable of enduring. Take a moment to reflect. What personal struggles have weighed heavily on you? We are all going through something at some point, you are not alone, trust me. How did those struggles shape your decisions, attitude, or relationships? Were there moments where you felt defined by your struggles, unable to see beyond them? Looking back, can you identify a strength, lesson, or skill you gained because of those difficult times? Remember, struggles may bend us, but they don't have to break us. It's in learning how to carry the weight that we discover resilience. A wise man said, "The hardest moments come right before everything changes." Life will test you, pushing you to see if you are ready for what you have been asking for. I know you are tired. I know you feel like you have been fighting forever. But know this, you are closer than you think. Every challenge, every setback, every long night, it is building you, preparing you. Most people quit when it gets tough, take wrong decisions. But not you. You are different. You have come too far to stop right now. Stay in the fight, stay focused. Your breakthrough is already on the way, it's already here. You didn't come this far just to watch someone else take what's meant for you. Show up, stay ready, and when your moment comes, take it. They say ready or not, your moment will come, so stay focused, stay preparing, and stay ready. Have you noticed that in most cases we give up just when we were about to receive our breakthrough? But not you, it is not peer pressure but you. It's on you, keep pushing forward, for there is no easy way out.